Am I there? Do you see me? I'm live. Hi guys, it's Steven. Nice to see you again. I'm doing some cooking today and I thought I'd want to share it with you. Did I get all the buttons right? Share to group, tag friends, not yet. Okay. So, a couple months, 6 weeks ago, I decided I was going to go ahead and, cook the main dish for our Saturday evening potluck and church services. So I got thinking, what am I going to make? I want to make something different, because I always try to make something different. And I thought, let's put together brisket and lasagna and make brisket lasagna. So for the last few weeks, I've been going over what does brisket lasagna look like? What would be in it? How would you flavor it? Hi, people. And so I came going through it, and I kept thinking barbecue. Brisket, it should be barbecued flavor and barbecue stuff through it. And this week, I Googled brisket lasagna, and it's a thing. People usually do it with their leftover brisket. They got like 2 pounds or 3 pounds of brisket left over. I, however, had a 15-pound brisket. So I slow cooked that in the oven last night at 225 degrees until it's all falling apart and everything. And as I looked through the recipes that I saw, they had a bunch of different flavorings with it. So with the big brisket, I cut it in half. And I flavored one with all Italian seasonings, and I flavored the other with a barbecue rub. So we're gonna have an Italian brisket lasagna, and we'll have a barbecue Texas brisket lasagna. So I got all my stuff prepped. I'm just gonna put them together. I'm not gonna cook them yet because it's a little early to eat at 5 o'clock, but I'm gonna have things ready. So we're gonna assemble the Italian one first with my special Italian from the grocery store jarred sauce. Forgive me, all you real Italians. So I'm just gonna slap some on the bottom. Hey, might as well. And have my towel handy. Then, because we got some gluten-free folks around, and I've tasted gluten-free noodles of different kinds, they really don't taste any different from the regular noodles. So I got gluten-free, ready to bake, so I don't have to pre-cook these in any way. A little square, they don't have the lines on them, but I think that'll be fine. What I like is rather than in my big old pan, I'm gonna move some of that sauce around. You don't get 15-inch long lasagna noodles, but these are gonna fit this way in here. So, I'm gonna layer those. Ooh, perfect, 4 across. I'm not sure how many boxes of noodles I'm gonna need, so I bought a lot. Okay, now I'm gonna layer it with my shredded up Italian flavored brisket. Dogs, you do not get to go and do that. You don't get to go out while I'm doing this. This is very important. People are watching me, so you have to be patient. So she sat down in front of the door. And she can just sit there. So I'm layering brisket meat over the noodles. It's a deep pan, so I'm thinking I'm probably gonna end up doing about 4 layers. So I got some long strings of it, and that's fine because I'm just peeling them apart as I lay them in here. I hope you're all having fun on your Saturday. I use my phone on a stand, so it's really hard for me to read comments, but every once in a while I'll get real close and stare and see what I can see. Okay, so I've got a layer of sauce, noodles, the shredded brisket. Now, this is a combination of onions, red peppers, yellow peppers, and orange peppers. All bell peppers, not any kind of special peppers, just all regular bell peppers. and to put a layer of this in here. Because we should have some veggies. Okay. That looks good. Now, I also mixed sour cream, ricotta, and Parmesan cheese. That's what's in here. So I'm going to lump this around. And that's just going to give us a nice creaminess to the whole thing. I like the flavor of the sour cream and ricotta together. And of course with the Parmesan. Okay. So I did about 9 lumps around there. I'm not spreading it out a lot because as it cooks, it's going to spread out. Then I'm going to add some more of my Italian seasoning. Now on the onions, peppers, I did throw salt in there and turn that around because the meat was seasoned as it baked. The vegetables, or the onions and peppers, have been seasoned with some salt. And then I've got the cheeses over this. Oh, I have one more cheese first. Silly me. I have a mild cheddar and a mozzarella. I'm going to sprinkle over this. There. Steven's at a baseball game. He's not baseball game, basketball game. So he is not here. He doesn't want to be caught on my live feeds anyway. Okay. That, now I'm going to season. And now I'm going to sauce again. There's that jar. Of course, the way I'm going to put the lid on it and turn it upside down to make sure I get all the rest of that later. Okay, 4 more noodles. Actually, I'm going to go 4 this way and 2 this way. There we go. I'm learning as I go. I am no expert in all the stuff, and I will admit that quickly. More meat. My mom's watching. Hi, Mom. Hi, Brooke. Hi, Jan. Sorry I missed the people that I missed. But like I say, with my phone on the stand, it's hard to see everything. I need an assistant that'll read me the questions in the background. That's it. But I don't think any of the dogs can do that. Kids are in New York on their way home today. Now, I know some people will pull every little bit of fat off the brisket before doing this, but because it's going to cook again, that'll give that fat a little bit more time to render all that other flavor into the noodles and the cheeses and everything else. Okay. Now, more onions and peppers. More of the cheesy sauce. I'm trying to divide this up in thirds for the 3 layers because I don't want to run out. Okay. Now back to these 2 cheeses. And I put the I'm doing the mozzarella first. Please, nobody call the mozzarella, please. Because the other time I did the cheddar first and then. Do you think anybody will notice when they bite into it? I know you can't see that, but under my face, my loving husband gave me rubber mats to go in front of the sink and the stove. So it's easier on my feet than standing on the tile cement floor. And I absolutely love them, they're incredible. Okay, the 2 cheeses seasoning. Now I won't bake this until probably about 3:30 or so. So I'll be covering it and put it in the refrigerator until it's that time. All right. Noodles. No, sauce then noodles. I'm forgetting. I should have put myself a little reminder up here of all the layers. Sauce and noodles. Yeah, I'm gonna have a whole lot of noodles left over. Okay. And more of the brisket meat. Just pulled apart and layered. I often get asked why I need so many big Pyrex bowls. This is why I need so many big Pyrex bowls for when I do big time cooking like this. If you happen to be in Burleson tonight about 5 o'clock, you can come to First United Methodist Church, have some brisket, and have church with us. You don't have to bring anything, just show up. Okay, there's that. Meat, onions and peppers. Cheeses and more cheeses. And again, this was a whole tub of sour cream, a half tub of ricotta, and a half a can of Parmesan, because I did it twice to split between the two. And that's a little thinner on this layer, but I guess I'll do a little better with the barbecue one. All right. The 2 cheeses. Since this is the top, I'm going to put some extra cheeses on it. That's about half of my bag. The other half of this bag. Seasonings. Now, one of the things I did when I took the brisket out of the oven is I saved all the juices, because those juices are all full of the seasonings and the flavors and everything too. I'm gonna wash my hands real quick, rinse. I'm still here. There. So in this pan, I have all that flavoring. So I'm gonna pour that on here, just to give another layer of all the tasty goodness that's in there. All right. And I'm gonna put sauce on top, because I don't want it to be just crusty hard cheeses when I get all done. Well, that worked out. So that was 2 43-ounce jars of sauce. Okay. And I yitz my fingers again. Yitz is the technical term for getting spaghetti sauce on your fingers when you're trying to cook something. All right. Oh my That's heavy. Okay. I'll cover it up in a minute. I'm going to set it aside. Now the barbecue one has most of the same ingredients, but I did do a couple things different. I mean, I could have just taken a jar of barbecue sauce, right, and just put Then I was remembering and thinking, a lot of people make meatballs or the little sausages, you know, for different holiday things and potlucks and whatnot. And what do they use for that sauce? They use barbecue sauce and grape jelly. So I warmed up barbecue sauce and grape jelly, and that's the sauce that I'm going to use for this one, for the barbecue one. So, everything in my way. This is so good. So I'm going to lather that across the bottom. Okay, another box of noodles. I'm going to have to be making a whole lot of lasagna because, yeah, I got a lot of noodles. So I'm putting 2 down lengthwise, 4 across. I had thought about making my own gluten-free noodles, but I tried that once. I will not do that again. There's a whole lot of note going on with that kind of dough. Okay. And the barbecue brisket. I don't know which one I'm more excited to try first, but I have to wait till 5 o'clock like everybody else. Because the smell of this is amazing. It was funny, up in my Facebook memories it came up. It was a year ago yesterday that I cooked my first brisket ever and took it to church for dinner. First time ever. And I know there was at least one person, I think, that was their first night that they had come and they kept coming back. I'd love to take credit for cooking the best brisket that brings people back to church, but I know that's not the thing. I'm sure God had, you know, control of that and influence on that and the whole thing. Okay. So there's my meat, my onions and peppers, my cheeses. I'll read all your comments when I'm done, I promise. And there is my sauce. My other cheeses. So if you need to cook a lot of food for somebody, I used 6 onions and 6 peppers to do both of these. It was about a 12, 14 pound brisket that I cut in half to make the 2. Each of them got a container of sour cream, split the ricotta, split the Parmesan. Two bags, what are these, 2 pounds, 8 cups, roughly 2 pounds. Okay, now, make sure I don't use my Italian seasoning, make sure I use my barbecue seasoning. You have to season all your steps or else you get a whole mouthful of bleh. Nobody wants a mouthful of bleh. Okay. Noodles. So 2 down the side, 4 across. These fit perfectly, I'm very impressed. Okay. Now sauce again. Should have put the sauce on first, then the noodles, but sometimes I'm backwards. And there are many people that would agree wholeheartedly with that. Like I said, next time I'm going to put my list together for my layers to make sure I do it right and consistently. Again, I don't think anybody will be picking me apart tonight and going, ow, there's yellow cheese on top of the white cheese, or white cheese on top of the yellow cheese, you know what I mean? Hi, Edith. Lazar. Tammy, hi. Tammy, I hope your knee's healing up right and everything. Stay away from those bee stings. Okay, I got all distracted and I started with onions and peppers. Let's go back to the meat. Okay. Who really cares what your lasagna, what order it's all layered in? Because people just want the food. Nobody's going to, if anybody starts picking up a microscope and going through their lasagna tonight to check the layers to make sure they're professionals, well, bless your heart. They say that in the South, it means a whole lot of things. I'm learning South talking, but I'm still not going to use the wild word. Okay, now, I'll put the peppers on the other side where I didn't put them before. Okay. Now the cheeses again. It's always kind of nice on the final layer because you don't have to worry about, I have one more layer to go, but you don't have to worry about making sure you have enough left for the next layer. Okay. I think this is going to be very tasting creamy bits all the way over, all the way around. One of the other reasons that I like to do a lot of this on videos, I never remember my recipes because I just make stuff up. And then it's like, oh my, how did I make that? Well, now I can go back to the video and watch how I make that. Okay. Last layer of noodles. And I have to open one more box to get one noodle. That I can't cheat on. You have to have noodles with your lasagna or else you're totally messed up. Okay. Sauce. I did that again. Did you see that? I did the cheeses and then the noodles. Forgot to put the sauce in between. At least I'm consistent with it. And because this won't cook until later this afternoon, you'll just have to look on Facebook for pictures later. The rest of the brisket, not biscuit, although that would be good too. Ooh, layers of biscuits instead of the noodles. Ooh, I'm coming up with a whole nother one again. You layered biscuits instead of the noodles. And sausage, that would be good. Okay, that's all my brisket. Now we'll finish off the onions and peppers. I pray a lot when I'm looking at recipes too, and for inspiration and everything, and for quantities. I imagine there's going to be some left over of this. Okay, there's that. Rinsing my hands again. You can't landscape video a Facebook Live. Have you ever noticed that? So if any of you Facebook developers are out there, let us go horizontal instead of vertical on our lives because it's much prettier. Or maybe I just didn't push the right button on my iPhone. I don't know. I might have to find a technician to talk to about that. Okay, there's all that. Let's finish the cheeses off. Finish the cheese and onions. Here's the last of this. I probably could have honestly used more of this. Cream cheese, sour cream cheese. It's not cream cheese. Sour cream and ricotta and Parmesan mixture. But, oh well. Again, that's why good notes on the recording. I'm glad that didn't fall. I'm glad good notes on the recording, they help with that. Okay, finish off my cheeses. again, as I'm doing this, I'm like, did I season any of those other layers? I know I seasoned at least one because I have the rub open, but I should have seasoned more. That's all gone, that's all gone. Seasoning. Okay. And then we're going to finish our barbecue sauce over the top. Oops. Got some barbecue sauce on the floor because I was just too excited over the barbecue sauce. Yeah, that's what it was. Mix that in a little bit. And again, here's all the drippings from the barbecue brisket. Putting that in there. That's going to soak in and again make those noodles all wonderful and munchy. I'll bake this for about an hour at 350, maybe an hour 15. And after I pull it out of the oven, I'm going to let it rest for a good 15, 20 minutes before we serve it. That way, all the flavors will get a chance to come together and work their way out. But now I have to clean my kitchen again. Thanks for joining me. Again, if you want to come by church tonight at 5 o'clock, you can help yourself to some barbecue brisket. Again, that's First United Methodist Church of Burleson, and the service is called Family Style, and you're welcome in our family. Have a good night.